Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ini and you are watching Parenting with Ini, where I get to share my parenting experiences as well as give the platform to other parents to share their experiences as well. You're very much welcome. If this is the first time you are stopping by here, Karibu Sana. Please click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I'll be so happy to welcome you to this platform. Today we will be featuring a guest on this channel and she'll be talking to us about multiple sources of income for a growing family. We tend to focus more on growing our family without really considering the impact that it will be having on us financially. And you understand that family, as they grow, family is not an event. Family is a journey that requires people to be comfortable, a journey that requires that you have to ensure that your family is living a comfortable life. How can this be done without finances? I mean, you need shelter, you need clothing, you need food, the babies need diaper, like so many things, and they revolve almost entirely around finances. And so you discover that one source of income might really be tricky for you to use to sustain your family. So my guest today will be taking us through on how we can achieve in getting multiple sources of income and why it is important for a growing family. Join me as I welcome my guest today. Her name is Peace Etukudo. Let's give her the platform as we learn from her today.
Hi everybody, good day. I'd rather say good day than the time of the day that I am, so that at whatever point that you're listening to this, you would receive my greetings well. Thank you, Ini, for having me on the newness space once again. I'm glad to be back. I was here at some point last year or 2 years ago. Last year, I think, talking about something different. So I don't take it for granted. Thank you for having me once again on your channel, and kudos, you're doing an amazing job putting out content there for parents, intending parents, and everybody who cares to hear something about parenting. I mean, everybody who comes on your channel has something to say that is quite educative and informative, and for that alone I binge watch on your videos. So thank you very much for having me here. So I'm hopeful that with all my blabbing, someone somewhere will learn something that from everything I have to say. Not like I have so much to say, oh you guys, I'm just going to just talk. So so thank you, Ini. Thank you once again for having me on your channel. So I'll just go straight up to what I'm asked to talk about. Ini has asked me to talk about the importance of having multiple streams of income as the family grows, which I see as important because you cannot keep just depend on your paycheck or salary for growing family, right? So I learned this early. Have I introduced myself? I can't even remember if I've introduced myself. I'm sorry guys, my name is Peace. Used to be Peace John, but now happily Peace Etukudo. Yeah, married to the most amazing husband. I'm sorry, I just had to let that sink in. And then mom to the most adorable children. I should let that sink in as well. Okay, so yeah, so that's me. I got married in 2018, and so far I have 2 children, adorable ones. And through the grace of God, I've been a mom, been a mother. No, being a mother is not just when you just come and give birth to the children like that and go. So it needs God's grace to actually parent, and that's why we are here on the newness space, right? To learn one or two things about how to parent right. So yeah, so that's me. I'm just going to lay out a couple of tips and tricks, I'll say, that I have imbibed over time and learned over time, that I think it's important because a growing family with the economy in this day and age, you can't just but have something else on the side, aside your 9 to 5 regular job, right? And this is something I'm going to talk from the perspective of a mother, of a woman, because something I learned from reading the Bible. I'm not just going to assume that everybody listening to this is a Christian, but yeah, much of what I'm going to say is going to be Bible based because that is how I learned it. And there's nothing you can find in the Bible, by the way. And yeah, so I just want to put that out there. So, studying the life of the Proverbs 31 woman, I learned a lot, and I'll see at different points in time. Like this woman, you don't want to sleep. I mean, sorry, that's my Nigerian English coming in. But I learned a lot from this woman, being that she puts her hands into so many things. Like at one verse, it's saying she's bringing food from outside countries. At one point, it's saying she's investing in this. At another point, it's like she's into real estate. I have a very creative imagination, so I try to imagine all those things that the verses are saying in this day and age, right? So at another point, it's saying she's sewing clothes for people. Different things she puts her hands into. So I'm like, okay, so this is the way to go. Jack of all trades and master of all at the end of the day. So it's important, but then what's more important is to make sure that whatever you're going into, that God is leading you that direction. If not, you will struggle. Yeah, you will struggle. But it's important to prayerfully walk through whatever it is that you're putting your hands into. The Bible says that God gives us the power to make wealth. So He gives you that creative imagination to be able to create. Not necessarily create, because that wealth is actually created to harness all the wealth of the world, right? So that's the right way to put it. So 3 points, I'm just going to put them a bullet points out there, and this is, like I said, it's important. Especially, it's not like a man is not supposed to provide for the home and everything. Of course, why not? That's what they're the head of the home, breadwinners and all that. But gone are the days when no man wants to marry reliability nowadays. So gone are the days where a woman just sits back and a man provides everything. I tell ladies that besides just the aspect of wanting to support financially in the home, it's also good for your mental it's also good for your mental health that you're also doing something. Yeah, you're not just sitting and waiting for the man to provide everything. Yeah, so that's not what I'm talking about today anyway. What I'm talking about today is actually that you have something doing, and it's important that you have something extra, as long as it does not strain you time-wise and every other way. Right, so 3 basic points. 1, take advantage of the environment that you're in. I'm going to be giving practical examples. Like I said, I had to learn this. Right, so I'm going to give you practical examples. Take advantage of the environment that you are in. If you see a need in your office, in your workplace, say for instance, there is no, I'll give a practical example. When I was where I used to work before what I do right now, we take lunch breaks, and at those lunch breaks people look for where to get what to drink at the time. So I'm like, okay, so there's this drink we call Zobo here in Nigeria, and I make it so well. I make it in my house. So I'm like, okay, so why not? I make it, package it, and then take it to the office. So during lunch break, people bring their food from home and stuff, and they for what to drink. They buy from me. I bottle them, package it nicely, take it to the office, and then during lunch break, people buy. I mean, that the money made from that cannot pay your house rent, of course. But that having a little pocket change, it goes a long way. So take it back. For you, it may not be people need Zobo in your office. No, it may be that you know how to make hair, for instance, and you can make a wig. That's something that's in vogue right now. I don't think it's just a Nigerian thing. What I wear right now is a wig. So you know how to make hair. I have a friend that she was traveling outside the country for studies, and she was not sure of what's going to happen there, and then she had a month free break period, so she went to a salon to go and be an apprentice, and that's what she learned, how to make hair, and that's what she's earning a living from on the side, of course, while studying outside there. Right, because there are a lot of Nigerians out there who look for people who can make hair the Nigerian way, and then she was able to provide that need. And these guys pay in bulks, like they pay well. So she's making a living out of that. So that's my point of saying look for a need around you, as long as it's something that is legal, yeah, and you're providing a solution to that thing, and then you're cashing out at the end of the day, not even at the end of the month. So you're not waiting for your paycheck to actually meet the need in your home. I'm talking about minor needs right now. So take advantage of needs around you. Look at your environment. What's that? What's something that is needed? For instance, someone does. There's people have long queues at the ATM points. ATM common everywhere. Okay. So at the ATM point, people have a lot of queues. Okay, so you have an opportunity to get a POS machine, right? You can just put someone there. Okay, ATM. Instead of people queuing up at the ATM, they can. So it's just I'm just talking about things that you can, instead of just depending on just your paycheck. Yeah. Okay. So something else. The next point I'll say is learn a trade. I remember when I was job hunting at some point, long before I got married, of course, and someone told me, see, if you don't get a job, just go and learn a trade. Like, go and learn how to bake, go and learn how to sew clothes, go and learn. I'm like, God forbid, I'm going to get a job. But I wish I had listened at the time. Honestly, I wish I had listened at the time, because those things add up eventually. So if you have the opportunity to learn a trade, if you have time on your hands, please do so. If you can learn, fashion is an in thing now. Food business, there's nothing that people eat every day. So if you start anything food, you're bound to like make good money. So if you learn how to bake, learn how to make pastries, even cook, you can cook and supply people. Like, there are a lot of bachelors in your office, for instance. People don't just eat bread and cook or indomie when they get home. Indomie noodles. Is that common English? Like, I'm just talking too much. But you get what I mean. So they cook, package it, they pay you, and so you can't just always bank on just your 9 to 5 paycheck at the end of the day. And so the last point I'm going to talk about is taking advantage of technology. This is one point that I would say, especially for mothers, because you get to that point in your life most times where you have to, your 9 to 5 or going to the office on a daily has to be relegated to the back burner for some time. I feel like this happens to 80% of mothers, of women, because you care about your children. You don't want your children calling a nanny mommy at those early days, and you don't want you want to be physically present for your children. So even if you get to have help, which I think you should, well, I don't have anything against that, but you should still be physically present and not be totally absent from the life of your children, especially at those formative years, right? So doing that will require you to spend more time at home compared to, especially for the first 2-3 years. So this is where the third point comes in. So take advantage of technology. Learn all you can from technology. For me, what I did was to learn a lot about social media, digital marketing. Like, be willing to pay for everything you have to learn. Or maybe you see a friend doing something and you want to learn. Ask questions. I asked a lot of questions that people were like, oh, bring money, I'll teach you. Okay, I got the money and they taught me. And then what I earned from paying for what I learned is way more than what I paid for. So take advantage of technology. Learn where you have to do online courses. You never know. There are a lot of virtual jobs out there. There are people who just want someone to just transcribe stuff for them. There are people who want design, or photo design, Photoshop, all the softwares. Learn how to use softwares. This is something that you can actually make a lot of money from, just sitting in front of your computer at home. It got to a point where working from home on stuff that I have learned, I was earning way more than what I would call my 9 to 5. Yes, that's how good it can be. So take advantage of. A lot of businesses want to go on social media, but they don't know how to go about it. So if you can volunteer to not volunteer, guy, they should pay you. manage their Instagram pages, for instance, Facebook pages, LinkedIn, Twitter, just know your onions when it comes to social media. And a lot of people who will pay you proper for that, right? So take advantage of technology, get acquainted with the media. Your phone that you use to just receive calls and send messages and just binge watch on Netflix or stuff, you can actually make big bucks from that phone. And that's how I started when I started my like side businesses. Most I have like okay, I should probably not go into that, but I have things running for me on the side, and it don't really take much from me in terms of physically going to places. I just sit on my phone and cash out. I'll give an example with one I've already said is social media, of course, my people's social media pages and stuff like that. Then design, Photoshop, Canva. There are a lot of softwares. Then audio editing. You sit down in front of people, send you stuff. You edit the audio. Do a lot of video editing. There's a lot that you can just sit in front of your computer and make big bucks from. There's something else. The last one I'm going to talk about is still under this taking advantage of technology. It's something that most people don't know. But when I was to start one of my businesses, this is how I started drop shipping. It's something that so many people don't know about, but I'll explain what dropshipping is. It's basically just marketing somebody else's product and making your cut. So I did that, started one of my businesses, and I got, and these contacts are not really rocket science to find. You can find them. There are a lot of people who want, people who market their stuff, who get contact of wholesalers, for instance, and then you market their stuff at the market prices of this thing. Of course, you're getting them at a discounted price because they are wholesalers that you're getting from. So you market them at the market price, the regular price that it's seen in the market of these items. And then by the time you get customers, you can see WhatsApp status, Instagram, you market stuff. If it gets you to open a business page, do so. That's how I started for one of my businesses, and it fetched me a whole lot of money. Right? I didn't stock down, like get a whole lot of capital to start the business. I just got pictures and videos of these items, displayed it on social media, and then got people who were interested in buying. And all I did when I get people customers who are interested in buying is get the delivery address sent to the supplier, that's the wholesaler, and then supplier delivers to them directly. I have made my cut. I'm the one who gets paid. I just pay the wholesaler. So it's something. I started a business with this thing, and when I don't know, you make I made a lot of money from drop shipping before I started the business proper. But this is something that most people don't know. You can sit down in the comfort of your home and make money. Yes. So I'm just putting all these points out there to mothers especially. Don't sit home behind the guys. It's not the guys though. Raising your kids is work. That's work. Trust me. I know. Raising toddlers, raising an infant and a toddler, that alone is work. But then engage your mind in something else besides just your children. That will not distract you from your children and your husband. Of course, that's your first priority, first port of call. But then engage yourself in something else other than just that. Okay, so those are the 3 points I had to say. Take advantage of a need around you in your environment. Learn a trade if you can. Baking, sewing, makeup. Gosh, makeup is a big deal now. Cooking, take advantage of, learn a trade, learn something, beadwork, anything. Trust me, it can fetch you a whole lot of money. And then take advantage of technology, digital marketing, online audio editing, video editing, transcription. Most virtual jobs nowadays are actually made up of this. So you can actually get a 9-to-5 job that is remote, and then you're working from home just because you have the skills. Then I talk about drop shipping, which is still sort of like fixated into technology, because all you need to do to market stuff nowadays is your phone, basically. And then you get customers, and then you cash out big time. So these are the few tips and tricks I thought to share today. These are stuff that has helped me, basically. Also, where you have the money, look at investments. Invest, no matter how little. Invest in small businesses. So as they make money, you make money. As long as something legal, it's important not to just streamline, not to put all your eggs. That's what it is. It's important not to put all your eggs in one basket, because what happens when the whole basket drops? So I hope someone somewhere has learned something from all my blabbing today, and I pray for you that you will not struggle in line of your finances. But like I said earlier, especially for a woman, it's not just about supporting. Yes, there's that place of support, definitely, of supporting your spouse when it comes to finances, but it's also important. It's also important not to stay idle. Mm? It's important not to stay idle. There's so much to say about that, but we won't go into that for the sake of time. And yeah, so that those are the few things I thought to share in line with having multiple stream of income, especially as the family grows. It's not just you alone. When you're a spinster, a bachelor, or a manchelo, or a womanchelo, you could do stuff by yourself with just your paycheck, and then you're good to go. But then now the family is growing, so also your income has to grow. Alright? Thank you so much, Ini, once again for having me on your channel. I will appreciate that. And I see you guys next time if I do. Toodles.